go by Randy time, we still got a few minutes.
Okay, really want.
Got a few months.
I call this September 4th Electric Utility Advisory Board meeting to order. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At this time, we will take public comments, if anybody would like to step up to the podium. Okay. Seeing none, let's move right on. The consent agenda, we have one item. I would entertain a motion to accept it.
So moved. Second?
We have a motion and a second to accept the consent agenda. Any discussion? No. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. New business item number 1. Mr. Green.
Thank you. I'll get you set up.
Okay.
Straight to you.
Gentlemen, it's good to be here. Good opportunity for me to get to interact with the Electric Utility Board. I was wondering, do you have, I think this was provided to you online, is that right? You got a link online?
Yeah.
You didn't get a hard copy or anything? I don't know. If
Not of that.
Okay, okay. We have the documents that we can go to specific pages if you want us to do that. I have some slides that are just a summary. I met with I presented this to the board. I have a hard time remembering what day that was, but it was, I think, before we actually had the draft.
It was May.
Was it May? Yeah, we didn't actually have a draft document at that time. We had some early drafts of pieces, but that's where we were at. I have probably 16, 15 slides. I'm going to go through these fairly quickly. I don't think you want to spend a lot of time listening to me tonight. You have more important things to think about probably. But if you see something that interests you or you have a question, just please stop and ask. I'd be happy to entertain that. So the comprehensive plan, we actually have a comprehensive plan now. It's not called the comprehensive plan, but it really is a comprehensive plan. It's a community development plan. The last update to that was done in March 2008. It is fairly limited in its breadth. It references a transportation master plan, but it's primarily a land use plan. The comprehensive plan, the draft that was sent to you and that's now being considered by the City Council, has a lot of different elements to it other than land use. Land use is certainly an important element. This is the development plan map from the current comprehensive plan, community development plan, that's currently in effect. The yellow color represents low-density residential land use, and the red colors, as is typical of a plan, represents commercial land use. The purple colors represent industrial land use for the most part. Light purple colors, light industrial. You can kind of make out maybe the intermodal over to the west. What's kind of interesting about this is a lot of that land, I don't know if you can kind of see along Waverly Road. You can see the roads are labeled at the bottom of the map. A lot of that land near the intermodal along Waverly Road is designated as open space or rural residential. I think most people would probably say that's probably not going to develop as rural residential on Waverly Road across from the intermodal. So that's kind of an indication of this being out of date. One thing I want to back up and just real quickly tell you where we're at in this process. So the process really started last August. Comprehensive Plan Advisory Committee was formed organized at the end of October. There were a series of public meetings. The CPAC, Conference Plan Advisory Committee, they convened a meeting at the end of June where they reviewed this draft. They basically endorsed it after there were some changes made to it. There was a community open house on the 29th. There was a public hearing by the Planning Commission on the 29th. The Planning Commission adopted it by resolution, but it does not really take effect until it's approved by ordinance by the City Council. City Council held a work session on the 18th, and now it's scheduled to be considered by them for adoption and approval on the 15th of September.
Mike,
Yes?
the intersection, the triangle bordered by I-35, Clare, and 175th on the east side of town,
Yes.
says commercial, which I assume is what our plan is still, but we haven't annexed that land. Is that part of where that's gonna go, is to annex that land?
That little triangle that you see that's red at the interchange, that actually has been annexed.
We have annexed that.
Yeah, that was in preparation for the Lowe's.
For the Lowe's?
The Lowe's store that didn't happen.
Okay. We just don't serve it with utilities. We have electric over there, but we don't have water and wastewater.
That's correct. Infrastructure around the interchange is a big issue, particularly sewer. So, purpose of a comprehensive plan is a policy guide for future decision-making. This is a statement taken right out of the document. Adoption of this document is not the end of the planning process, but the beginning of an ongoing implementation effort. How it's used, how it's implemented, it informs the annual budget process, guides decisions about capital expenditures, it guides changes in development regulations, guides decisions about land use applications, like if someone applies for a rezone, a conditional use permit, something like that. It guides those decisions. It's a key finding. It's whether something is consistent or in conformance with the comprehensive plan. It informs decisions about service levels and programming. Process, I won't go through all these steps, but typical planning process starts with data collection. There's kind of an analysis of those conditions to identify issues. There are some goals that are formulated in specific policies. And I mentioned before, it was reviewed by the CPAC staff and the Planning Commission. Core themes of the plan. If someone asks me, what's this plan about in a nutshell? You know, what does this plan address? On page 2, in the introduction, the core themes: housing variety, local employment growth, image and identity, capitalizing on regional transportation assets, I-35, the logistics park, New Century, Air Center, fiscal sustainability, a strong city center, green connections. Some of these themes you'd find them in other plans, but not always, not all other plans. This kind of tells you that, yeah, this really is particular to Gardner. This is not just a plan that is a stock plan. This really reads Gardner. Community profile, this is kind of important. Community profile, part of the document are the existing conditions. It's not the policy part of the document, it's what are the issues? What are the key assets, what are the strengths, weaknesses related to Gardner? It's in this. So these are just some key ones. Community characteristics, impact of the intermodal, Johnson County Fairgrounds, incomplete residential subdivisions, we have a lot of those around, annexation issues. We do not have a boundary agreement with Edgerton. We do have one with Olathe. Community profile, market and demographics. So this is kind of important because one of the main reasons for doing a comprehensive plan is to manage growth and to prepare for growth. And when I first came to the city of Gardner, which is in February 2013, what I heard a lot was that Gardner was projected to double in population by 2020. I'm not sure if people really believe that because it was 2013 and growth was flat at that point. But the last set of population forecasts and projections were done when Gardner was still growing at a very rapid rate. Gardner grew from 4,500 approximately to 19,000 from, it was 4,500 in 1990, grew to 9,000, 10,000 at 2000, in the year 2000 census. And at 2010 census, the population is 19,123, or 19 plus, 19 and some change. It's now at 21, essentially. On this page, it projects the population. It's based on what we know today, and what they're predicting, using the methodology they used, is that the growth is not expected to be rapid. By the year 2018, what they're anticipating is we'll be at 22,000. By the year 2030, we'd be at 25,341. By the year 2040, 28,323. Still a healthy rate of growth. Things could change. 5 years from now,